They have a roundup on your purchases.
Welcome to Cents Sensibility, where we like to talk about money without the stress. My name is Chris. I'm here with my good friend.
I'm Phil.
So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about tackling debt stress head on. You might think the only way to reduce your stress is to either make more money, but that's not necessarily true. I'll show you 3 super simple, practical ways to ease the burden without earning an extra single dollar. It's all about focusing on what you can control and celebrating the small wins. So first step is to just stop stressing about the things that you cannot change or control. Easier said than done. Like, let's say the total amount that you owe or the interest rates that you're stuck with, those things aren't going to change. They don't go away. So there's no real reason to stress about them. That stuff will drive you crazy if you let it. And we don't want that. So instead, focus on what you can control. For example, right? You can set up automated payments, negotiate with creditors. As overwhelming as that might sound, you can actually do that. Most people don't know. Or even just start by paying a little bit extra each month towards your high interest debt. Let's say you owe $100 for your minimum payments, throw an extra $50, $30, and that little bit will add up.
Yeah, Chris. And, if you're looking for a way to save automatically, I would try apps like Acorn. They round up your purchases and save the extra change for you, so you don't even have to worry about it.
And man, no, I really think that's a really good tip. Just because I remember when I was younger, I had used Acorns when it first came out, and I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but I just remember that there was like $168 amount of savings that I had that I could just pull out, which was great because it came in clutch. It saved me a massive headache. I was able to pay a bill, not be late on that bill, and then have things get out of control, right? Next, number 2, let's talk about creating a small emergency fund. A lot of people don't have these, and people don't know that these are monumental. I know it sounds unrelated, but hear me out, right? So even working to set aside $500 can be a game changer when obviously unexpected expenses pop up or life just happens because, hey, you're driving down the road, you blow a tire, that's $150 to $200 depending on the car that you have. That's just, you need to get around, you need to get to work and things like that, right? So instead of putting that surprise car, repair bill, like I just mentioned, or even like a medical bill, if you get sick, urgent care bills, they get a little costly. On a credit card, you'll have a little bit of cushion to fall back on by doing this, right? So having that peace of mind is huge for reducing stress.
Yep, that's right, Chris. But like I always say to people, you want to start small, $10, $20 a week, automate it if you can. That way you don't even have to think about it. And before you know it, you'll have a solid buffer.
Oh, that's honestly such a good tip, dude. Regards to undebt IT, I know my cousin, he uses it, and for me, I think it's easier to use based off what he had showed me. It's easier to use than having a spreadsheet, right? So I think that, for people that are overwhelmed by spreadsheets and things like that, I think this is a lot easier tool to use to alleviate that as well. Make it easier to kind of keep track of your expenses. And finally, man, third, the last thing I like to tell people is always learn how to celebrate your small wins. And I say how because that's important, right? Seriously, people always, wait until they're completely debt-free to give themselves some credit, no pun intended, right? But every little milestone counts. So let's say, hey, you have $2,000 of debt, and you're trying to pay it off. Every $500 that you pay off that's gone and you've taken care of and tackled, hey, that deserves some recognition, right? So I think that, it helps keep you motivated and makes the whole process feel less like a slog, because you're like, hey, I did something good, this isn't that bad. It's gonna keep you motivated to tackle even more debt. Let's say if you do end up taking more lines of credit out or get a new car loan and all these other things that come through life as life goes on, right?
Yeah, you're right, man. You don't have to go big. A little treat like your favorite coffee or a movie night is enough to celebrate your progress and keep your spirits up. But of course, you want to do it in moderation.
All right, so go ahead and drop it in the comments and let's celebrate together, right? What's one small win you've had with your debt recently? I want to know, whether that's paying a bill on time or just making your first budget, because every step counts. Again, so reducing debt stress isn't just about making more money, it's It's about focusing on what you can control, right? Building a safety net, like we had talked about, that buffer, celebrating your little victories. You don't need to fix everything overnight. It's a bit of a process and you have to understand that. So just take it one step at a time and know that everything's gonna work itself out as long as you. Reducing debt stress isn't about making just more money, right? It's about focusing on what you can control, building that safety net or buffer like we had talked about, or even celebrating small little victories. You don't need to fix everything overnight. It's a bit of a process, and knowing that these things take time will really, really help you in the long run. So just take it one step at a time. All right, so if this helped you feel a little less stressed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share this episode with someone who you think might need it. And don't miss our next episode where we're gonna talk about biggest money mistakes that people make and how to fix them. But as always, keep your sense and sensibilities in check.